And people think all I have to do is drive.
Grown men sitting around, no goals, no aspirations, nothing. I called you about 20, 30 times. My period came down. I had to get a ride to my house. You got my call, and you could have did it. You could have came and brought me some pads.
How was I supposed to know that was?
It's called check your phone.
I didn't expect
Yeah,
you to be calling
yeah,
me early.
yeah. I need pads.
You out, ain't you?
Watch this. Watch this. How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Ma'am, you dated a Pookie and a Ray Ray. You have no one to blame but yourself. I oftentimes wonder why women put themselves in these type of situations where they date a man who don't want to do nothing with their life. I don't understand.
Look at her hand. Look at her right hand, bro. She caressing his forehead, bro. It's unnecessary. Now when I get the wrong idea, and now her brothers in the shop want to fight me and lock the shop down on me so I can't leave, I'm in trouble now.
Bro, she's not God. No woman should ever make you that nervous because she's a human just like you're a human.
I'd seen you before. You look so familiar.
But where have I seen you before?
Where are you from?
Where do you go to the dentist?
The dentist? I got New Orleans.
Bro, she's not God. No woman should ever make you that nervous because she's a human just like you're a human. But this is what the TV shows are all throughout our lives, the TV shows, the movies and stuff like that. Have you ever noticed how they always make the guy nervous when he's approaching the pretty woman? TV, the media, all these types of things taught us that the value of a woman is so amazing that you gotta be nervous when you talk to that. That's not attractive to her. Don't do that.
We have a couple more questions and then we'll let you guys go.
When you say we, who's we?
Me and my significant other, me and my boyfriend.
Surprise, motherfucker.
What's up? How y'all doing?
We're doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well myself. But quick question though.
What's up?
For you, my man.
Hold on.
So you say that you're a businessman and you're a success coach, correct?
Yeah.
What gives you the right to be a success coach?
What gives me the right to be a success coach?
Yes.
What does success look like to you?
That's not the question. I don't need false fallacy. See, you're talking to another intellectual man. You're not answering my question.
Intellectual and education are two totally different things.
Listen here.
Go ahead.
I can tell that right now you're showing me that you're neither. I need you to answer my question.
Good. Answer what question? What's your question?
What qualifies you to be a success coach?
Context purposes, this man is supposedly a millionaire and he's in a poly relationship with these two beautiful women. And he goes live and he allows people to question him, and some people are angry at his situation and relationship status. And to be honest, it kind of reminds me of Kevin Samuels because people call him to their show complaining to them about why they don't like what they're doing and how they're having a relationship, and they obviously seem pretty happy. I never understood why people have a problem with how somebody else lives their life if it doesn't directly affect you or society in any type of way. If they're happy, they're happy. Maybe the dude that called in was hating because, you know, he don't have that same type of situation. He probably wish he had two beautiful women sitting beside him, and he probably wish he was as rich as him. If he is rich, who knows?
When women don't listen, it's because we don't give a fuck. How simple is that? Like, we don't love you to listen to you. If we do listen to you, it's because we in love with you. So if you still having that argument, that means she don't fucking.
Craziest college confession.
Meeves over here. Meeves over here. She
had sex with him.
How'd that go?
It was so good. Have him tell you more about it.
Definitely a magical moment.
I wanted to hop on the trend of things I'm too old for. I'm 31, so here we go. I am too old for feeling stunned. Especially if I'm paying for your service. I'm gonna tell you that this nail doesn't look right. This polish isn't thick enough. Like everybody's like, oh no, I'm staying at home these days. I'll be real tired and real old and I won't be able to get up. I won't be able to hop on a jet ski. And 31 is still young. I'm jumping off the jet ski. I'm jumping off the boat. Another thing
Pretty women really have no concept or no clue on how boring they are. Because she's attractive, dudes and people in general give her the time of day. So she thinks that what she's talking about is so interesting and it's boring. This is where pretty privilege comes in. People who are pretty do not live in the same reality that average looking people, which is most of us, live in. But because she's pretty, there's gonna be some knucklehead who's gonna sit through that. Cause I cut a lot of parts out. Who's gonna sit through that and hear her because cause he's trying to do what he gotta do. Hoping that she gonna like him. And he might get friends. You know, to each his own in a relationship, and if they're happy, they're happy. But I don't engage in the slapping of the buns on my behalf. To me, now I do the slapping of the buns, but I don't want the slapping of the buns from myself. But as long as they're happy, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of times when men meet me, and then they see what type of mother that I am, they want to procreate with me. I promise you. You think
By
I'm
procreate,
lying.
do you know what okay, you're using the word procreate. I'm gonna give you the real correct word. They want to.
Okay.
They want
Okay.
to you. They don't want to procreate. They don't want to get you pregnant. They want to. You know what?
That's what you.
Listen.
And that's what
I'm
you
not
think.
even attacking you.
And people think all I have to do is drive.
These gas prices are high. So how much gas to fill one of those big
Nigerian culture, like if you're saying, oh, my husband is cheating, the mom will be like, why are you looking? Just don't stress.
Because he's taking care of the house.
Because he's taking care of you.
Fuck movies for making it seem like when a man's like is like really big, or like when it's super rough, that it's like so fun, like, oh my god, you put me in a wheelchair. I'm literally on bed rest with a horrible bruised cervix. So cute. Self-prescribed bed rest, of course. I can barely walk. It hurts so bad.
Because she doesn't have a ring on her finger, it does indicate that she's not married, and it makes me think, what is a dude that you fall in love with in the future going to think when he comes across this video that you publicly posted online? To the women listening, you immediately become unattractive to us on a long-term level when we realize that that you've been dogged out by another guy to the point where you said that your cervix was like pulsating or something like that. That's unattractive, and maybe because dudes may have low self-esteem that they ain't working with the other cuz working with.
What's the most important thing that you've learned from your past relationships?
A lot of women have mental health issues.
Do you think I should be excluded from ever being considered a trophy wife because of my past?
If you want your house clean, hire me a maid.
I agree with Sister Amira. I agree. I'll hire the maid and I'll marry the maid.
Bombs.
I'll marry the maid.
Girl in the black, I think I'm in love with her. Go talk to her. No.
If this is you and you are so tired of seeing beautiful women and not being able to approach because you feel anxious or you don't know what to say or you feel like you're going to be coming across as creepy, please reach out to me. There is a strategy so that you never have to worry about going up to a woman and making a great first impression.
No offense, but please don't reach out to her. If you want to reach out to somebody, reach out to men who've had success with other women, like Alpha Male Strategy, Steph is Cold, people like that. And I don't even personally know them. It's just that I know they really get females for real, and women really like them. But I'll give you a piece of advice that worked for me. Is very practical. Go talk to the woman and fail. Okay? People scared of failure. Just fail. You learn through your failures, period. It's not that... Calm down, bro. She's not God.
I don't want this woman back. If I wanted this woman back, when she called me and said that she was ready to reconcile after a year of us being away from each other, I would have took her back. You're suddenly ready to reconcile? I'm in a relationship with Zelly. You think I'm gonna just go chuck this woman away? That's not gonna happen. Today is Wednesday and I want my husband back. Okay.
You know, I'm no expert on this, but the fact that you're responding to this and thinking about it shows that, in my opinion, you're not really over her yet, which is not fair to the woman that you're with right now. But I could be wrong, and I hope that I'm wrong, but why even giving it attention if you're in a whole nother marriage? If a person is truly happy in their new relationship, I don't even think that the other person will even be relevant to them anymore. You know what I'm saying? I know they hope the best.
Woman with a partner who has gone their entire life childless.
I have to respond to this video. Oh my gosh. So I am 55 years old, child-free by choice. I knew at the age of 7 years old that I would never want to have children. And by the grace of God, that decision has never wavered. I also knew that if I ever got to be the old age of in my 50s like I am now, and if I ever wanted kids, I could always adopt, right? So, what does it look like for me being child-free by choice at the age of 7, since the age of 7? It has meant a life of complete and total freedom, a life of joy, a life of non-aging, as we can see. There's no filler or Botox in this face. It has meant that I was able to retire from corporate America at the age of 38 years old, to travel the world and live abroad in luxury and style, and I'm still doing that all these years later, all these decades later. I live abroad, I travel, I have businesses, I have money. Oh my gosh, I don't have stress, I don't have worry, I have joy. It's amazing being child-free for me. Now, to all of your friends and family that are telling you that you're gonna somehow be jealous of those that have children and you're gonna have all this regret, don't believe them. What they're telling you is a total lie, and it is a complete and total scam. Trust me, those of us that are child-free by choice have never looked at our friends that have kids and said, oh, I really wish I would have made that choice. No, said none of us ever. In fact, people that have children, and God bless you. You guys, parenthood is one of the hardest things you could ever do in life. God bless all parents, Lord knows. But parents look at us that are child-free and they channel that as jealousy of us because we have our freedom. So I just call it as it is. Don't hate the player, hate the game. So what I want to say to you is, do you make your own choices, live your own life, and enjoy your peace. And if you're soliciting advice from these people, please don't solicit it. And if they offer it, which people tend to do that have children, why don't you just like go raise your kids and be happy and do you? It's so weird. It's really weird, people. It's weird. If they give that advice, just let them know that you don't need it and you're good. So I hope this helps. Being child-free at 55 years old means complete and total joy, more choices. You know, last summer, because Mexico where I live is so hot, I moved to Istanbul, Turkey for the whole summer, had a ball. This summer, I'll be in Europe gallivanting around, having a free hot girl summer. So being child-free equals freedom. I wish the best to you. And if you decide you want to change it in the future, you can always freeze your eggs now and have kids later by surrogate or what have you. You can always adopt, or you can get a puppy. All right, I hope
That's exactly why there's bad mothers out here. They don't take care of their children, they abandon their children, or they're just not invested into their lives at all. And they're literally just parent roommates. They don't cook for their children. They don't do anything but except the kids live with them. And the reason why is because these women who never wanted to have kids in the first place laid down with a man and they end up getting pregnant and having a child, and they never wanted to be a mother in the first place. If more people had a self-awareness and would be like, do I want children or do I not want children? And they would answer that question honestly and truthfully before they go on being intimate with people, this world would be a lot better place. Because the women who don't want to be parents like her, awesome, will continue to live their best life, and because she probably would have been a bad parent, let's just be real. She most likely would have resented having offspring. So shout out to people like her. We need more people to be self-aware like that.